and ciao, listeners of Heavy Demons Show. This is Attila from Mayhem, and you should just keep the hellfire burning your soul. Fuck yeah, and see you in hell. Ciao.
So, dear Attila, what should fans expect from Liturgy of Death? In my opinion, it's a more diverse album compared with Demon, which, as Necro told me back then, was probably influenced in its composition by the touring and recording of the Mysteries Dom Satanas.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of an offspring. So these two albums somehow feels like connected. However, it's been like 7 years between the two records, So, but it looks like, and it's never been planned like that. But I think it's like if you look at like Ordo at KO and Esoteric Warfare had a connection. And now these two albums seems like having a connection. So I think there is certainly some kind of a connection in it. And I think a Liturgy of Death, I mean, I don't know if you mean diverse by the music, but actually, or diverse it from the other records, because the whole theme, it's kind of like overwhelming the album, which is death, Morte. So most of the lyrics, I mean, all the lyrics are about that. I'm just trying to approach it in different ways, from different aspects, the whole theme. And I think I think personally that it's a more deep record than Diamond, at least the lyrics, and it's more philosophical. Diamond was a little bit more like, it's like, in a sense, Necro has something to say. He's right, because like when we did the Mysterious album, the recording, everybody was in the studio, for instance, when I recorded the vocals, all the members were watching me. So I even asked for a curtain to close the recording room so I could be in darkness so they could see me. And I had like some candle lights there too. I love candle lights, obviously, like my whole place is full of candles now too. And it's like, in that sense, Diamond was about that too, to bring together the band. So I shared the lyrics with everyone. Everyone could come up with something. So the lyrics were more diverse, I think, on that album. This album, I wrote all the lyrics. And I wanted to go deep in this theme. And I found this theme. It just came to me via my channel, so to say. I didn't really plan it. It's not like I had like 10 different ideas for a title and let's pick this one or that one, No, it's just somehow it's culminated and come to me and manifested in me. And all the songs are about that. And of course there are, I think, like music-wise, it's kind of like it's an oversee, or it's like an embracing of all the Mayhem history or records. So there are like a little bit experimental parts, a little bit like old stuff, a little bit like the later stuff, So I don't know. It's if you feel it's diverse, maybe, I don't know. It's also like, that's what I'm saying. It's interesting to see how people, have questions and different perspective on the record.
And I noticed a great variety in the vocal work as well. How did you approach the arrangement of the vocal parts?
That's right. The thing is like that. I just feel like now I use my voice like painting, So I try to use that color of my sound, of my voice, which is like required, or what I feel right for that certain part of the song or the music. I'm not trying to show up or show off, or that's not a circus. They all have some meaning, Plus, I did like, I already started with the Mysterious, like we did there, of course, the Mysterious Dom Satana song had like this more operatic part, or whatever, priest voice, as they asked me to make like a priest kind of shit, song voice, back in the days. But now, after, and of course, Ordo at KO had some diversity in the vocals, like I used different techniques, but then I a little bit regretted like Esoteric Warfare or whatever. It just came out like that. I didn't use that many variations there. It was like more this extreme voice, screams. And then I kind of missed it. And people inspired me, even in the band and our producer and everybody, like, why don't you use your full spectrum of your voice? Like, I've been doing this since I was 15. I was 15 when I was first time on stage with Tormentor. Now I'm 55. So that's 40 years of using my voice and practicing and developing. Because also, if you think about, like, it's the theme of the album too, everything is changes, everything is passes away, everything, our body is changing. This perfection never exists. Perfection exists maybe for a moment, but then it changes too, you know. So my voice, my body is changing, so I all constantly have to kind of practice, kind of like, you know, push it, keep it in shape. So naturally I developed a lot of styles, a lot of different and also in the countless projects I played through the years, I even can't recall how many albums I made. I have no idea actually. And so somehow it just natural to use my voice in different ways. Why not? I have it there. And it's just coming naturally, like how I feel, following my instinct, really. And I don't really plan it, you know, like this should be this, that should be that, or this song should have this, that song should have something else, you know. It's just how it comes, you know.
The theme of death dominates the lyrics, and it's neither a positive nor a negative portrayal. I would say it's an objective one. Can you share your thoughts on this perspective?
Absolutely. This theme came to me again via my channel somehow, like I call it. It's not, I didn't plan it. And when I found it, like, wow, it's really, really heavy, very challenging theme, that. And also it's total universal. All of us, everybody has to face with it. And look at all the artists through the history, how many poets, poems, you know, literature, paintings, architecture, whatever, you know, even some sculptures, like about and mythology. It just, you know, and of course religions and traditions and philosophy is about that, you know. For instance, these lyrics, when I started to work on these lyrics, I was reading actually Seneca, Italian great philosopher. He has some great letters about that, you know. Also, I read some Epictetus, so I guess that's also influenced me a little bit. And the whole theme. And if you look into Mayhem history, like we have people who passed away in our family, you know, obviously Euronymous and Pellet, that, you know. So I thought, now I'm 55, I'm like old enough, I'm almost 55. I thought, like, maybe I'm old enough to take this theme, even though it's very challenging, really deep and profound. And definitely I try to enlighten different aspects, like, yeah, that is bad, mostly bad for the people who left behind. For us, it's a very sad thing. And also it looks like a miserable thing, because like it makes life like kind of meaningless, like it's everything gonna pass away anyway. But if you put it in another perspective, it's the end of all the suffering, it's the end of all the confusion, it's the end of all our problems too, you know. Definitely. And also, I'm not sure if there is beginning and end. If we talk about this now, a little bit the philosophy of the lyrics, like for instance, I was there when my kids born and they were taken out of the womb. By the way, every mother is a holy to me for this, and every death, I was there. It was so dramatic, indescribable moment. We say it's like, how beautiful is it? Of course, when you're born or giving birth is beautiful, but look at the mother and the child, especially the mother, the tremendous pain they always have to deal with to give life, you know. So that's why I adore all mothers, for instance, and I'm like, that's one of my main issue, many, but it's one of my main issue with all religions. When you say Father in heaven, I mean, come on, the father had a mother. I mean, or I don't know, it's like a wrong thing to say. It should be mother, father, whatever. There should be a different word for that, you know. And the thing is, like, when I was there, I realized, and I never forget that moment when for instance, my son or my daughter was taken out of the womb and born. Like, hold on a second, I was there, like, this is not just the beginning. I mean, that kid was there, that baby was there in the womb 5 minutes before the birth, or an hour before, or a week, or a month before, or you go back to the fetus, or you go back to the sperm and the egg when they meet, life was already there. So life, what's the beginning? Where is the beginning? In esoteric, we say the beginning is when you take your first breath. But hold on a second, that's okay, I respect esoteric, but from the scientific part, it was already there. The baby already here in the womb, you already hear, you already feel stuff. It's like many, I guess, I don't remember when I born. I don't remember the beginning. And also, when you look at the other end, the death, which is our topic now, by the way, some death is painful and miserable, but some not. Sometimes people just fall to sleep and never wake up or just fall down, So it's not always painful, like birth is always painful, just also interesting, I think. And also, like when is the death happens? Like now, before people fall down, they thought they were dead. But today we talk about clinical death, which is another thing. Like there is a couple of minutes, at least 5 minutes after when you died, you still can come back, or maybe even long. I can't tell exactly how long is the clinical death definition, but I read a lot and I talked even persons who've been there, and they all talk about like this near-death experience, so to say, when they say, yeah, and many times it's positive actually, that yeah, I was in the light, I was in the tunnel, I saw the sun, I passed, like even my electrician was here one time and he started to talk about like reincarnation. I was like, what are you talking about, man? And it was so interesting. He's like, he told me after of course we started to talk about this topic, and he told he had a near-death experience. We had a great electric shock, and he was like he was flying into the sun, basically, which was like this 4-dimensional kind of tube. And actually, I had the same vision once in like one of my visions or meditations, or if you like, I don't know, that the sun is something special. It's not just what we see, or maybe it has some other dimensions to it. But anyway, yeah, people say the other end of a black hole is a sun. It's just again some theoretical science. I don't want to go into that now. But the guy was talking about, he was flying through the sun, and there was in a piece behind, there was another dimension, another world where he didn't even want to come back. Like a lot of people who have this near-death experience, they just don't want to come back, and they see it. It's very interesting. So, and plus, even every day we fall to sleep and wake up in the morning. If you think about it, what the hell is that? Like for us, is the most natural thing to do. But if you come from another planet, or if you look from objective, like you say, isn't it very strange that every day we have to fall down when the sun goes down, so to say, and we have to wake up? And what is that? And we go to another dimension, a total, but what we call dream. But nobody really can tell what is this. Okay, you can say it's like the mind activity or something, but what is it really? Yeah. And it's impossible to tell even the moment. It's very hard to tell, no, I fall to sleep this moment. No, you're just shifting there, kind of passage. And the same time, when you wake up, you're still up, but you still have your dream alive somehow, or it's very hard to also define when you wake up exactly that moment. So I think all these things, science, like maybe that is not necessarily the end. Plus, if you look at all the traditions, like especially like India or Egypt, they all prepared for the next life, the next dimension. Even our religions, like Christianity and stuff, which is pretty bad because they are making these false deals with that. Like they say, this gonna happen, that gonna happen. If you don't what we tell you, don't do what we tell you. But anyway, they talk about that after the life there is like heaven or hell or something, which I think it's kind of wrong, because if you look into it, basically everyone should go to hell, according to that. So I really, really doubt that it's like that, but definitely it's very hard. No one can tell exactly if what's happening after that. No one can tell, So it's we will see. It's a big chance that it's still continue because of all these things, So I don't believe in stuff like that, I'm not a believer but I'm totally into esoteric, occult, and mysticism, Like, yeah, and science is so limited. For instance, this is a thing. I just have this here, this thing. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
It's like a banded spoon. It's stainless steel. It's an IKEA spoon. I have a lot of this here. I'm just studying this right now a little bit of this so-called psychotronics. I don't know if you can see it here.
Yeah.
And it's like energies, like it's my teacher. I couldn't do it yet. I did one spoon here, but that's like not so good yet. This is my spoon.
Okay.
But this is something with an energy which is like official science denies to exist just because they can't measure it or can't reproduce it, but it still exists. So I'm like into mysticism and occult and like secret, or like what we don't know type of thing, and esoterics definitely. So that's how I try to approach to this thing. I hope you got my. I don't know. Maybe it was a bit too long answer. Yeah, I'm sorry if I talk a little too much. I try to get focused on your next question.
No worries. That's so damn interesting. And about this,
cool.
What kind of ritualistic sounds did you include at the end of the sentence of absolution?
Yeah, that's a cool question, bro. It's actually we had this idea, which is again like experimental. So that's why I'm saying this album has the experimental part. Like we wanted to do something with one of the other ancient death cults, so to say, is called the voodoo, which is basically originates from Africa and like the Caribbean, and we found, like I found a fantastic artist via my connections from France, actually, called Natasha. I don't know, I can tell you later. Anyway, Natasha, who was like a girl from, I think, from Nigeria, like a proper African girl. I haven't met her, and she seemed to be like, I was asking around who could be, and she had, because we wanted something authentic, not just get something from an internet, of course, but get a real person who knows and who is from there and who knows something about this voodoo stuff. So it's basically like a voodoo outro. I don't know where it's gonna lead us for the next album, but it is like about it's like the meaning of voodoo. Like we just go into this tribal voodoo state at the end of the record. That's the outro, and that's kind of giving a frame, because the intro of the album has Garm, who's one of my favorite vocalists from Ulver, and a very great friend of mine. We really respect each other, and is a great artist. So he had in the intro made some backing tunes, and I wanted to make a frame of the record. So the outro is with this lady Natasha who did the voodoo. So it's going pretty far away, if you like.
Yeah, and what can you tell us about the amazing artwork by Daniele Valeriani?
Dude, it's amazing. Yeah, I agree. It's so fucking great. Yeah. And it's like he did the diamond. I really like him. Like I don't know, his artwork is really particular, and he even came up with a few ideas, and eventually it was my vote too, but eventually we all voted and picked up like this was the right artwork for the record. It's like it's kind of have the ritual. It has that face, the face of that somehow, and it has this ritualistic stuff. It's kind of like there are like hints about all the a little bit cryptic way, though, the philosophies behind and everything. So I think it's really cool. And even the peacock feather, that's a little bit like the hint of India there. However, in the lyrics, I didn't do too much, but I think it's all about esoteric stuff there, and there's like, it's a lot of details. He's fantastic. He did a great work, I think.
And what can you tell us about some news on the Void of Voices front and your recent project with Igor Cavalera?
Thank you for this question. Really appreciate it. Void of Voices, I'm still doing it, of course. It's my lifetime project. I don't release many stuff. If you can see, the one thing I released was the album called Baalbek, which I recorded in Baalbek in Lebanon on the top of a monolith. I love this ancient structure, and I think that's pure mystery. And it's evidence of another civilization which was in this planet. And it's not a belief system for me. I know it. I don't believe. I definitely know that. Like there was here a civilization which you don't know anything about, and it's a high-tech civilization. So I wanted to be, and by the way, in Baalbek, there is the biggest Roman ruins, one of the biggest Roman temple, which is in one piece in the world. The Bacchus temple is there, and the Jupiter temple. You cut those pillars, like your ancients, they really know there was a certain definite meaning. Actually, Baalbek was the city of the sun, as I heard. It's also very interesting for me. And there is the biggest monoliths in the world. They are like 900 tons. Like it's like 1,000 Volkswagen Golf in one piece. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
No one can lift it. Even today, you need like giant machinery. You can do research. I did. It's almost impossible without, and no, it's definitely impossible without power tools. Anyway, I did that record there, and I still playing with the Void of Voices, and I do also the Nosferatu, which is another set I do with Void of Voices, which is the silent movie of Monroe with Max Schreck, the old classic. It's a silent movie, and do live soundtrack with Void of Voices. I really love to do that too. And with Igor, that's another wonderful thing. It's like we knew each other for a long time. He's been kind of like my, if you hero in a way. I used to listen Sepultura, and we listened to each other music already before we knew each other. And it just came like, I kind of separated from Sun lately, and I really miss that era. So it's experimental music, and Igor is really good at electronics too, like experimental electronics. He's not really a synth player, don't take it wrong, but he's very good at his modular synths and everything, and he's also the amazing drummer. But what is the most important, like we were so much on the same page by mind when we decided, we just tried, and it turned out we were completely on the same mindset and page, like he also loves ritualistic music. So it's a very ritualistic experimental music. We are supposed to record an album and play more. By the way, we are at Swan Booking, which is from Italy. And I hope to play in Italy with that thing one day too. And that's really amazing. And there is another band, if we are talking about, like Italy has been always important for me, so I think it's interesting for you guys because, of course, like Aborim, my old band from Rome, or our old band from Rome, was industrial black metal, and my old band Plasma Pool was released in Italy, which was like pure electro stuff. So now, following those footsteps, it looks like we're gonna make a new band with Rhys Felber from Frontline Assembly. And I'm so excited about that too. So I just hope we will have time because it's, again, heavy touring going on. But I feel now released from Mayhem. Why I was this Mayhem record hanging, I couldn't do anything else, But now it's a little bit out of my way, so to say. We released it. It's a release for me, so I can focus on this new stuff,
Talking about Tormentor, are you going to still, perform live, or are you planning to enter the studio at some point?
Some point, yes. We are still playing live. It's amazing, like we used to, it's, what's amazing with Tormentor, that it's the same lineup, that just 87.
That's amazing.
It's the same people. Can you imagine? It's like my high school band. Yeah. Black metal was my high school, my first band from 86, 85, 86 to 90. That's it, and now we are with the same people together and playing together. It's so particular. We still love to play, and everybody loves to hear the old stuff, of course, which like basically we influenced even Mayhem, as you can hear, or you can read in the letters of Euronymous sent me, and also Dad, everybody, like they both love Tormentor. So we love to play that live, but you know what? We also want to make a new album. And also, by the way, we did Recipe Ferrum before, which was connected again to the Roman culture a little bit. That's also in 2000. Now it's like 25 years old, that album too. So it's like time to do something. But that was with a different lineup. That time the guys were not available, the old members, but now it's back to the original Tormentor. And I was thinking, like, I don't think there's many bands out there who is playing with the same lineup from the 80s.
Definitely not.
So I think it's very unique in many ways, and definitely we're gonna continue playing live, and we are working on new material. I was just yesterday at Attila's place, a guitar player, and he was showing me some new riffs. We just have to find out really which way. Like we still, like, after all those years, like we are still shaping out what to do, which way to go. We have a bunch of ideas and demos, so there's something must happen at some point.
So which final message would you like to send to your Italian fans? What invitation to give them ahead of your show in Milan in February 17?
I would like to tell them that a big salute, and I really like Italy. Like I told you before, it's important for me, and really looking forward to the show in Milan. We had a very special show in Milan before too, when we played, the Live in Leipzig set. So it's and also Italy is very important. Like first time I entered the stage was in Milan, with Mayhem in '98 when they invited. When I was there with Aborim, and we recorded the first album. I was just a guest in Aborim that time, and I met the Mayhem guys first time after the mysterious times, and it was also released later, like Melodolium Capta Est. I'm always wrong with saying the title, but that's a live album. Again, another Latin word, and like Italy is very particular. It's very important for me, so I can just assure that it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be similar for the 40 years anniversary show. We kind of try to keep those elements, at least. Probably we're gonna keep the projection element, which is, I think, unique in black metal. So why not keep that? So it's gonna be a great show, and I feel a lot of connection to Italy. So I really, I have what can I say? Like, salute, guys, and keep it real, keep the flame of black metal alive, and come and see our show if you can.